If you listen to the world, it isn't slow in telling us it's had enough of religion, and I don't blame it. But it usually comes as quite a surprise to them when you tell them, so has God. Jesus Christ didn't come into this world to start a new religion. He came in to create an entire new world, a new way of living, a new way of being. Everything about God screams new. In fact, when Nicodemus came, that's Nicodemus's brother. He came during the day. But when Nicodemus came to Jesus to speak to him, Jesus told Nicodemus, oh, you have to be born all over again. Imagine telling a man like that, a man who has dedicated his entire life to God, to Bible, to synagogue, to temple, to the people of God, you have to start all over again, from scratch. God could have made this world any way He so chose. He chose to make 4 seasons that constitute a year, and He made New Year's, in my opinion, because there's nothing better than giving people a fresh start, a blank canvas. And He made new months for those of us who aren't very good at this life, and we can't wait a year. And He made new weeks because there's some of us that are so bad at this, we can't even wait a month. And then He made new days for people like me. In Luke chapter 10, an expert of the law came to Jesus and said, what's the greatest commandment? That's Hebrew for what is the most important thing in the world. Jesus flipped the question on him and said to him, how do you read it? And the man said, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength, with all your mind. Jesus agreed that that was the single most important thing in life. But what is the most important word in that most important sentence? Love? No. Your. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength, and with all your mind. God is after the entirety of your being, typically summarized in Scripture with the word heart. Not, well, for another video, but God's after your heart. That's your job. And no one can do this for you. Not your preacher, not your faith, not your church, not your teaching, not your learning, not your parents, not your heritage, not even God Himself. You. It's your job. And that's what makes you unique in this world. That you, and only you, are you. Because if it's not genuine, if it's not sincere, if it's not real, what's the point? It's worthless, utterly bankrupt of worth. In the second Godfather movie, which is a movie everyone, well, you get the point. Fredo is in on the plot to have Michael killed. Michael finds out about this and plans to execute his brother, Fredo. But his mother's sick, and he doesn't want to cause her any more discomfort, any more heartache. And so he decides to wait for his mother's death before he kills his brother. He's all heart, it's Michael. But his mother finally dies, and they're having the funeral, and Fredo's in one room and Michael's in the other room. Well, Fredo and Michael's sister, Rocky's wife, I don't know how that works, but Rocky's wife goes into Michael, I can't remember her name. Rocky's wife goes in and begs Michael to forgive his brother. Michael gets up, moves out the room. Before this, wouldn't even look at him. But he goes into the room, extends a hand. The brothers hug it out. You're left thinking, there's no love like family love. No forgiveness so complete than family forgiveness. At the end of the movie, Fredo's out fishing and Michael has him killed. All the words, all the promises, all the hugs in the world are pointless if the heart isn't engaged, if it's not real. Vegetarians go to an awful lot of expense and effort to make fake meat, don't they? And they dress it up and they arrange it and they spice it to the hilt. And it tastes good. So they tell me. It's still fake. All the religious dressing in the world, all the prayers, all the songs, all the attendance, all the giving, all the fellowship, worthless, utterly bankrupt of worth unless the heart is engaged. If you saw a truck full of merchandise and you wanted to steal the merchandise, sure, you could spend all day going in the back and taking it out piece by piece, or you could convert the driver and get it all, truck included. This is your driver. And it's here that God is aiming. He's not aiming at your behavior. He's aiming at your heart. Not the behavior's unimportant. On the contrary. But you can change someone's behavior without ever changing them. That's why law is so puny. But change the heart, and everything else will follow, including the behavior. In short, God doesn't just want us to do right. He wants us to want to do right. And if you don't know the difference, you haven't thought about it long enough. But all of this can only ever be accomplished when the heart is engaged. So what are you waiting for? Here we are, 2020. A whole new year He has given you. You laid it out before you for you to explore, for you to love Him with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength, and with all your mind. And look, if you blow it, February will be here soon enough. And if you can't wait until February, it's only another few days until a new week will be here. And if you can't wait until then, as sure as you are watching this, the sun will rise tomorrow. And with it, the words of your Father. Go on. Go on. Give it another go. And hey, I'm with you, even till the end of the age. Happy New Year. God richly bless you.